dancing with the shadows on the bedroom wall. Silhouettes of memories that I can't recall. Trying to be ready for the cause, trying not to fall, ready for the landfall. Rolling way too slow to win this human race. Gotta travel light through this desirable maze. The miles are leaving traces on my face, signs of falling grace, filling up the empty space. But heaven knows I'm getting so much better every day. Yeah, baby, can't you see? It's easy as ABC. We will carry one another on this path, yeah. Even though my feet are barely finding solid ground, I'm getting much closer now. We'll find a way somehow. We will bear one another to the landfall, until the landfall. We're rolling way too fast to just enjoy the ride. Feeling too much hunger to stay bona fide. Lonely in a crowd we abide, petrified. We could be unified. But heaven knows I'm getting so much better every day. Yeah, baby, can't you see? It's easy as ABC. We will carry one another on this path, yeah. Even though my feet are barely finding solid ground, I'm getting much closer now. We'll find a way somehow. We will bear one another to the landfall, until the landfall. I'm dancing with the shadows on the bedroom wall. Silhouettes of memories that I can't recall. Trying to be ready for the cause, trying not to fall, ready for the landfall. Rolling way too slow to win this human race. Gotta travel light through this desirable maze. The miles are leaving traces on my face, signs of falling grace, filling up the empty space. But heaven knows I'm getting so
Bonjour, mes amis. It is great to be back with you. I missed you. I really did. 5 weeks in France was great. 4 weeks at language school, 1 week with my husband visiting friends and just going around the Côte d'Azur. It was fabulous, but there's no place like home. It's great to be home. We got home last night about 10 p.m. Well, we had a lot of wine, a lot of cheese, a lot of French fun. I'm back at it, and I'm glad you are too. Every day is a new beginning. Let's just start. It's a new week. It's a new day. It's a new opportunity to have fun, but just have no stress. That's the thing. Ease into your week. Hi, I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is your yoga from home, and I can't stress the your enough. This is your place where you're going to do a 1-hour yoga practice. Maybe you'll stay for the whole hour, maybe not, but just stick around, see how you feel in your body. We practice every day live, and I hope that you continue to join us. Do what you can with what you got, right? Focus on what you can do and dismiss the rest, right? Why not? The word to think about today as you practice and you do what's right for your body is the word beyond. Beyond. Just think beyond the here and now. Think beyond, what are you capable of? Think of getting out of your comfort zone. I sure did this last month in learning a new language. It wasn't easy, but it's all good. It's good to stretch yourself physically and mentally, right? So do what is right for you. Don't hurt yourself. If something hurts, back out of it. Don't do it. Use some props. Props help. I've got 2 yoga blocks. We usually use those. A little eye shade is great for final shavasana. A hand towel comes in handy for many different things, and we'll use that today. And a strap. If you'd like to have a strap for your practice, grab it and have some water handy too. Don't stress out, have some fun and enjoy. All right. First thing we always do in every practice is lock in a stress number on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10. Where are you today, right here, right now? How do you feel? Lock in that stress number, remember it, and let's come on up to standing. And when we come up to standing, we're going to do our usual little warm-up. So put your props aside. Let's come on up. You got your stress number in. A little warm-up. Maybe this is all you can squeeze in today. That's okay. There's some days it's all you can do. Take a nice stance of confidence. Spread your feet a little bit wide, hands on your hips, chest is up, lifted and puffed out, elbows are toward the back of the room. Lift, feel like Superwoman, right? Or Superman, whatever fits, whatever strikes your fancy. Start to come up on your toes and down on your heels. Dogs aren't here today. They're still at the kennel. I'll get them today, and they will be happy pups. All right, so you're lifting up onto the balls of your feet, keeping the heels behind your toes, working out the calves a little bit and just finding your balance. Balance is so important. All right, so lift here, keep the heels behind the toes, and a few times come down on the heels and lift the toes up and give them a wiggle. So alternate, just kind of get into your foundation. So important to stay strong in the feet and for your balance to keep it going well. All right. Place the feet solidly down, lift your arms on up to the sky, or reach through your fingers, interlace your fingers, send the palms up to the sky and start to sway from side to side. Pose has a name, it's palm tree, like all those beautiful palm trees in Florida. I hope my friends in Florida, I'm thinking of Liz and Betty, I hope you fared well through the storm. All right, so you're stretching out one side, stretch through the other, taking deep breaths in through your nose and big sighing breaths out through your mouth. Just enjoy the stretch. Don't stress over it. Enjoy how this feels. Take it as far as is right for you and just enjoy what you got. Finish up, come back to the midline of your body. Send your hands high to the sky, either through your palms or through your fingers, whatever feels good in your elbows. And then bring your hands to your low back. Bring your hands to your low back. Fingers can be down or fingers up. Press your belly forward. Squeeze your elbows toward your spine. Look up toward the sky. Maybe look up overhead as you take this little controlled back supported back bend. Exhale the air out of your lungs and hinge forward now. Hinge forward, let your arms hang heavy, a little bend in your knees. Don't stress out in the knees. And just kind of like a rag doll almost. Let your hands come toward the earth. They don't have to touch. Maybe they're pretty far from it. Tuck your chin to your chest. Look back to your knees or your navel. And breathe, most important part. Move your knees. Just enjoy movement. Shake your neck a little bit. Finish up. Slowly roll your spine up to standing. Chin comes off of your chest. Last, let's do some arm circles. Arm circles can be big or small. Do what feels good in your shoulders. And when you're ready, add in the knees. Bend the knees and straighten the legs. Bend them when the hands come down. Straighten them when the arms come up. Breathe. Take your arm circles in the other direction. Your knees, bend them a lot or a little. Whatever feels right. Just move. That's the ticket, right? When you're ready, finish up. Come on up to standing. Stand nice and tall and straight. Shoulders are back and down. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Maybe close your eyes or keep them open. You decide, and start to turn from side to side for this big coat swing. So what you want to feel here is a nice twist in your waist. Arms are heavy and long. So you're tapping your hip, you're tapping your backside, letting all the tension that you're holding on to go away from the arms. Twist and turn and look over your shoulder, or maybe you're challenging your balance with your eyes closed. Nice little warm up. Last pose, my favorite. Maybe it's your favorite too, but ragdoll pose is the name of it. Let's finish up with the twist. Come back to the midline of your body. Take a big breath in and a big sighing breath out. Hinge forward. Hinge forward. You're looking at your feet. Bring them so they're about hip width distance apart. That's 2 fist widths. You can measure since you're down here. And the big thing here, let your neck go. Shake your neck a little bit. Look back to your knees. Hollow out your belly. A little bend in your knees feels good. Hands to opposite elbow creases. Breathe here. Let your heavy head hang toward the earth as you imagine your spine, your neck, and your low back decompressing. Try a little bend in your knees. See what you think about that. And when you're ready, start to sway from side to side, bringing one elbow back toward the knee and then the other, like a rag doll. Breathe. Decompress the low back. Head is heavy, give it a shake. And then let's finish up. Come back to the midline of your body. Keep your hands either where they are, or if you want more balance, bring them to the mat and lift your toes up. Give your toes a little wiggle. Lift them up. Wiggle them. Place the feet solidly on your mat. Hands come down too. Bend your knees and come down to a child's pose. All right, child's pose, classic child's pose. You can add a block here if you want. You can bring it to the top of your mat. Knees can be together, big toes touching, hips back to your heels. Big stretch in your quads and your knees. Head can come down to either the block or to the mat. Arms down by your sides, palms face up. Think of your shoulders being away from your ears. Here's your little child's pose. A pose of surrender. A pose to stretch out your quadriceps, your ankles, your knees. Your spine is long, your forehead is on the mat or the block, lengthening through the spine. An option is to spread your knees wide. Hips are still back to your heels and arms reach to the top of your mat. I like how this one feels. Maybe you do too, but you do what feels good for you today. Head can be on the mat or on the block, or scoot the block up to the top of your mat and place your hands on it to really get into the shoulders a little bit more. Big breath in, big breath out. Breathe deeply. Maybe close your lips eventually and breathe in and out of the nose for Ujjayi Pranayama breath. Think of your tailbone going to the back of your room as your fingers reach to the front of the room maybe. Big breaths in and big breaths out. Now child's pose. Stay here as long as you like. Maybe you take the whole practice in child's pose. Nothing wrong with that. Breathe deeply. Come back to your child's pose whenever it speaks to you. But just get into your breath. Feel the goodness of the depth of the stretch. Maybe you can take it a little farther. Take it beyond what what you normally do. Big breath in and big breath out. As long as it doesn't hurt, that's the big thing. Everybody's different. If it hurts, don't do it. Back out. Take it to a lesser percentage, or don't do it at all. Big breath in, big breath out. If you're ready, if you want to, let's come out of this child's pose. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, wherever you had them, and let's come into a toes pose. All right, toes pose. Shoulders are over your hips. Tuck your toes under towards your shins and have a seat back on your heels. You can use the blocks here too if you want. You could sit on the block on your heels if that feels good. Or ditch the block completely. Hands on your thighs. Close your eyes. Soften the shoulders. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Sigh it out through your mouth if you want. Or keep the lips closed and just build heat in your body. Soften in the jaws. You don't want the teeth clenched. Now take your hands, interlace your fingers, and have one hand on top, one hand on the bottom, fingers interlaced. Start to do some wrist circles here. Come out of your toes pose at any time if it doesn't feel right for you. If it's just uncomfortable, breathe through it. If it's painful, come out of it. Breathe. Get those wrists moving. Nice big round figure eights. And then, let's finish up when you're ready. Hands back to your thighs. Untuck your toes. That's it. Place the tops of your feet on your mat. Using your blocks or no blocks at all, come into an ankle pose. So lean back. The blocks help here to bring the ground up to you. Lean on back and stretch out the ankles. How does that feel? You can have no blocks at all. That's fine. So challenge your balance if you're doing that. Hands together in prayer. Breathe, stretch out the ankles as much as is right for you. No more, no less. You know where you need to be. Big breath in, big breath out. Let's finish up and come into a neutral tabletop. For your neutral tabletop, your hands are on your mat, your knees are on your mat, wrists under your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Press into the earth. Imagine your back is really perfectly straight. Tailbone to the back of the room, crown of the head lengthens, find space in your neck, neutral tabletop. Cat-cow, chin to your chest, tailbone under, arch your back up to the sky, push into the earth, tops of the feet and the hands pushing into the earth. Back is arched like a Halloween cat. It's that time of year. All right, then when you're ready, crown of the head lifts and tailbone lifts. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Move your spine. Breathe. Let it feel good. Push the earth away. Are you pushing into the tops of your feet? Let it feel right. And when you're ready, let's finish up with your cat-cow. All right, let's begin. From a neutral tabletop, lift your right knee up, up, up. Lift it up to about hip height. The ankle here, circle it a couple of times in one direction, and then circle it in the other direction. When you're ready, send the right leg long and drive through the heel. So draw your toes towards your shin, drive through the heel, press into the earth. This is hard enough right here. Find your balance. The leg is at about hip height. Maybe it's a little lower, but maybe you want to bring it up. See how it feels. But think about the hips for a second. Right hip and left hip should be equidistant to the mat. Press into your hands, lengthen through your neck, hold here. Here's half a bird dog, right? Let's take this bird dog a little further if you would like. Heel is driving to the back of the room. Take the opposite hand, the left hand, and reach to the front of the room. Stretch, reach, push into the earth. Find greater length in your spine. Feel really tall here. Strengthen the low back. Ooh, you can feel that. Lengthen through the spine. Breathe and finish. Left hand comes down. Right knee comes down. Other side, same thing. Lift the leg up. Knee at about hip height. Dial the hip down so they're equidistant to the mat. Start to circle the ankle. Work out all those pops in the ankles. Breathe. When you're ready, drive the left leg long. Heel to the back wall. Toes toward the shin. Push into the earth and hold it right here. Holding it right here, strengthening the low back. It's all good. Maybe you stay right here. Or maybe today it's time to challenge yourself with a little more balance. Right hand, reach through it. Lengthen to strengthen, right? Stretch, reach, drive the heel to the back, fingers to the front, push into the earth, hold it here, you're really strong, and getting stronger every day. Reach, and then finish. Hand comes down, knee comes down. Take a round of cat-cow just to even things out and come back to the midline. Cat-cow. Breathe. Now guess what? It's time for one of our favorite strength building poses, plank. All right, you can do it any way you like. I'm gonna set a little timer for you to time how long you do this. You don't have to time yourself. It's not about the time. It's just about kind of taking a little self-measurement. All right, here's what you could do. Knees can be wide, arms work forward. You can hinge forward and take a little bit of like a frog plank, holding here, pressing into the earth. You know when you feel the weight shift more into your arms. Build strength in your upper body. You can stay right here. Another option would be to take it down on your forearms, having the elbow under the shoulder, hands spread wide, legs can go back. Hinge the weight forward and press into your arms, feeling the strength. You could tuck your toes to your shins and press on up and take a dolphin plank or a high plank. I'm going to take a high plank. You do what is right for you. I'm going to set a timer only for you to see your progress. Let's go. High plank. Let's go. Timer set. 1 minute. Hands spread wide. In a high plank, your arms are nice and straight, but not locked out. Your shoulders are over your wrists. Legs are about hip width distance apart, and hold. We're 10 seconds in. Whatever variation you're in, it's good. Be proud of yourself for doing. Be proud of yourself for coming to your mat. Hold. We're 20 seconds in. Breathe. Lengthen. Think of energy coming out the heels and the crown of your head as you are halfway there. Now, there are ways to take breaks. You could come down to your knees. You could push into your arms and send your hips high to take a little bit of a break in a down dog. You decide what you like. You've only got you got 15 seconds to go for a full minute. So you've been here for 45 seconds already. Good on you. Hold it. We're in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Whew. Come on down. Have a seat. Bend your knees. Grab a drink of water if that suits you, and let's keep on going. How are you doing? All right. Whew. All right, I hope. The plank, however long you did, it's good. Just be happy with what you got, right? Every day, work on the progress. Let's do a little core stuff. You've already done a lot already, haven't you? You know what? You took a stress number in the beginning. Come back to that for a second. How are you feeling now? It's getting better, isn't it? All right, so let's begin by bending the knees. Bend the knees, soles of the feet are on your mat. Hug them in. Hug your heels in towards your bottom. Wrap your forearms around your shins. Maybe press on up to the toes. Hollow out your belly. Nice tight little squeeze here. Breathe and let it go. Place the soles of your feet on your mat. Now open up your knees to the side of the room, having the soles of your feet touch each other. Knees are open wide. Use your hands. Draw your heels closer to your groin. How far can you take it? How far feels right for you today? Hug them in. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Nice opening in the groin. Let it be. Big breath in. Big breath out. Now let your heels come a little bit away from the groin. Let the knees work toward the earth. Hands together in prayer, always a good place to be. Lengthen up through the crown of your head and slowly recline. Come on back. We're going to work our way all the way down to our mats. Once you're all the way down, get comfortable. Soles of the feet are touching, heels up towards your groin. Bring your fingers lightly to your temples and open up your elbows. Have them touch the ground as best you can. Get them even in the shoulders. Take a big breath in. Maybe a big sighing breath out as maybe you breathe in and out of your mouth while we do our Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups. When you're ready, on an exhale, let your chin come up to the sky as you lift on up through your shoulders. Elbows remain back. And then as you inhale, come on back down. Lift on the exhale, down on the inhale. Lift and lower, little teeny lifts and lowers. You do what feels good for you. Don't judge yourself. That's the hardest part. Breathe. And when you're ready, let's finish by holding up. Let the shoulder blades be lifted. Let the elbows come back toward the earth. A couple little pulses here, maybe. Tight in the stomach. Breathe. And come on down, all the way down. Let's do bicycle. All right, so bring the knees together at the midline. You can keep the soles of your feet down, adjust your legs to what feels good for you, and you could peel your shoulders up, bringing an opposite elbow toward an opposite knee, and twist. Little twists here. You could keep the shoulders down, lift the legs up, knees over the hips, and act as if you're riding a recumbent bicycle. Drive through the heels, and enjoy this movement. Or put it all together in a melange. All right, and when you're ready, peel the shoulders up, elbow toward opposite knee, and ride a bicycle here. You want to get a little fancy, you can straighten your legs and scissor kick them, working one leg toward the earth and the other leg up toward the sky. Let's finish. Legs go long, arms go long above the head. This is called a stick pose. Point your toes, point your fingers. Kind of brings back the memory of that bird dog pose, right? Stretch it out, breathe. Let's do boat. All right, boat. Big core posture here. Bend your knees, Take your hands behind your thighs, low on the hamstrings. Rock and roll up a couple of times if that's okay for you. Everybody's different. And bones. Think about your bones. If you have osteoporosis, you don't want to rock on your spine. All right, so come on up. Once you're up, feet can be on the ground. Hands behind your knees. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Maybe take the weight out of your feet a little bit. Maybe send one leg straight or the other or both. Lean on back like you're in a beach chair. Breathe. Chest is lifted. Back is straight and flat. Maybe remove the hands. That's really tough. Hold it here. Maybe lift the arms up. Maybe lift them a little behind. Hold in your boat pose. Breathe. Breathe. Lengthen. Strengthen. You got it. Bend your knees. Hug them in again. Remember how we started this whole little core sequence? Wrap your forearms around your shins. Hug those heels in nice and tight. Maybe come up onto the toes. Woo. Lean on back a little bit. Weight out of the feet. Circle the ankles. One direction, then the other. We're going to do a lunge next. Even this right here, you're balancing. That's pretty incredible. Takes a strong core. All right, feet come down. Let's do our lunges. Okay, bring your two blocks by your sides. Come on up to standing on your knees. Blocks by your sides at a nice high height. Bring your right leg forward, knee over ankle. Send the left leg long. So push into those blocks. Left leg goes long. Ooh, are you feeling it in the left hip? Knee over ankle. Lengthen up here. Maybe you keep your hands on the block and think of the crown of your head lengthening. Now maybe you bring your hands off of the blocks and shoulders come over your hips. Big stretch in your left hip. Hands to prayer center. Perhaps the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Hands stack, elbows stack. Lengthen up here. Maybe open up the arms. Left hand toward the earth, or I guess you could hold on to the block, and right arm high to the sky. Maybe try to look up to the right arm. Hello to Christy, to Tammy, to Esther, to Margaret, to Mary, to Kelly, to Tim, to Rena, to Kelly, to Felicia, to Pam, to Esther. I'm glad that you're here. I said Esther twice. I breathe. And then finish. Hands back to prayer center. Hands back to your blocks, surf it out. Surf it out, what does that mean? Just straighten the right leg and bend it. Surf it out. Use your blocks, maybe walk the blocks back and sit on your left heel. If you can't take it that far, no big deal. Don't sweat it. It's all good. You know, the more you use it, the better it gets. Isn't that true with a lot of things? So move your body. If you don't use it, you lose it, and that mobility is so important. All right, surf it out a couple of times. Maybe you want to ditch the blocks, and using your strong core, surf it out. Let's finish here. Come back to standing on your left knee. Bring the right knee to meet it, and let's do the same thing on the other side. All right, so standing on your knees, you know what I mean. You're on your knees. Left foot comes forward. Knee over ankle, so it's nice and strong and supported. The blocks bring the ground up to you and allow you to send this other leg, the right leg, long on the mat. Top of the right foot is on the mat. Really feel the stretch in the right hip. Breathe. Nothing wrong with staying right here, feeling the good stretch. That's what this is all about, is the good stretch in that right hip. You can stay right here. Maybe look forward. Maybe bring the shoulders over the hips. These are all maybes, because you decide. It's all good, really. You just do what is comfortable and right for you. Hold it here. Maybe hands to prayer center. Breathe, soften in your shoulders. Right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Let your hands be stacked and let the left elbow kind of be on top of the right one. As maybe you look to the left. Look to the left, and then the arms, open them up. Let the right arm come down to the block, or no block at all. Let the left arm go up to the sky. Twist. Look up to the left fingers as best you can. Breathe. Slowly come back. Hands back to prayer center. Take a breath here. And then let's surf it out. Using the blocks, just surf it out. All that means is straighten the left leg. Straighten the left leg. Ooh, send the hips back. Then rebend it. And you know, I was saying keep the knee over the ankle. But at this point, maybe bring the ankle or bring the knee a little further over the ankle. Stretch it out. You know what feels right. Surf it out. Maybe bring the hips back to sit on the right heel. Walk it forward. The blocks are great. If you don't have them, buy them. They're not very expensive. I think you can get 2 blocks and a strap for probably less than $20 on the internet or Walmart or Marshall's or wherever. But the blocks are great. All right, so after you've surfed it out a couple of times, let's finish. All right, knees meet, hands come down to your mat. You're in that neutral tabletop, but let's take it to a down dog. All right, a real popular yoga pose. Tuck your toes to your shins. Send your hips high up to the sky. All right, here's where we're going to check things out. Check out your feet. Have them be about hip width distance apart. Remember in ragdoll, that's 2 fist widths. You can eyeball it here. Let your heels be lifted. Now let your hands, take a look at your hands. The fingers should be spread wide. Hands are shoulder width distance apart. Go back to looking at your feet or your knees or up towards your belly button. Heels are lifted, start to pedal them out. Your neck is another important part here. Shake it. Let it be. Let it be loose. Think of a string at your tailbone going up, up, up to the sky. Lengthen up here. Let your spine decompress. Pedal it out. And breathe. See how far you can bring that heel down. Maybe it touches the earth, while the other one lifts high on the ball of the feet. Enjoy the movement. Finish up. Still your feet. Let both heels work more toward the earth. Don't forget your neck. Shake it out. Loosen it up. Now let's walk our hands to our feet or our feet to our hands.
Walk them on back. You're folded in half like a paper clip. Lift your toes up and give them a wiggle. Solidly plant the feet. Chin is tucked to your chest. Hollow out your belly. Slowly roll your spine up. Think of stacking one vertebra at a time like little Lego blocks. All the way up as you come up to standing. Once you're standing, shoulders are over your hips. How are you doing? How's that stress number? Aren't you feeling good? And that's what it's all about, just feeling good. It's not about the intensity or how far you take it. It's about how good you feel. All right, hands to prayer center. Root into your feet. Lengthen up through your spine. Deep breath in. Deep shoulder softening breath out. Now lift your arms on up to the sky. Think extended mountain pose. We've done this before. Let's take this to a half crescent moon. Palms touch. That's a little bit of a challenge for me sometimes, getting the palms to touch. Lengthen up through the fingertips as best you can. Lengthen up, and then gently let the fingers, the hands, the arms work toward one side of your room. Maybe the feet are together. Maybe a little space there for stability. It's all good. You know what else you could have? Maybe you got a chair right here, and you reach through the one arm. It's all good. Lengthen through your fingertips, keeping both feet solidly planted. The weight should be equal in both feet. Right hip, if you're leaning to the left, right hip should be back. Both hips equal distant to the front of the room. And then chin, bring it away from your chest. Breathe here in this half crescent moon shape. Really big, really deep, whatever feels good. Slowly, come on up to center. Take it slowly. Lengthen up. And take it to the other side. Take it to the other side, chin away from the chest. Check out your hips. Make sure they're equal distant to the front of the room. Make sure your weight is equally distributed in both feet. And that top shoulder, bring it back a little bit more. And I know you feel this. This is intense, all up and down here, isn't it? This whole side of your body from your foot all the way down and up through the fingers is stretching. Maybe soften in the glutes a little bit too. Slowly, as you exhale, come on back up. Lengthen up. Let's do it again, but a little differently. Take it back to the starting side. And you know all the things to do here. Root equally into the feet, hips equal distant, top shoulder back, chin away from the chest. Reach, and this time, the hand that's on the bottom, release it and grab the top wrist and give it a little pull. Doesn't seem like much, but ooh, it intensifies it, doesn't it? Remember your deep breaths. Remember to keep the shoulder back. Slowly come on back up to center. Palms touch. Take a breather here, lengthen up. Let it go, settle in. Take it to the other side. Reach, reach, reach. Let the fingers reach. Chin away from the chest. Bottom hand reaches for the top wrist and gives it a little tug. Breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Most important part. Deep breaths. No stress. Deep breaths. Slowly come on up. Back to center. Palms touch. Lengthen up. As you exhale, let the hands come to heart center, and let's do tree. You can have that chair here for balance, totally fine. For tree pose, we kind of do this in just about all of our practices. Every day our practices are different. Check us out. Okay, I'm going to root into my left foot, weight out of my right, open up the knee to the right side, and place the sole of the right foot either with the heel on the ankle, or slip it on up a little bit, or bring it all the way up to the thigh. Just, you know what I'm going to say, just don't put it on the knee, because you don't want to force the knee to move in that direction. It's just not natural. So press the sole of the foot into the leg. Drive the outside of the bent knee to the back of the room. Same thing with your hips, equal distant, hands to prayer center, or use that chair. Breathe, look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. It helps you keep your balance. And press the foot into the leg and the leg back into the foot. Grow your branches if you like, and sway your branches to challenge your balance a little bit. Lift the fingers high to the sky. Let your chest be lifted too. Press the backs of your hands to the back of the room. Open up. Always good to open up. Bring the hands back to prayer center. Now the foot. Don't put the right foot down. Just bring the knee to the front of the room, keeping the right toes drawn up toward the shin. Ooh, I'll get my balance. If you slip out, if you fall out, no big deal. So what? Nobody's perfect. Get back in. All right, knee at about hip height. When you're ready, send the leg back. Take your hands away from prayer center. Interlace your fingers behind your low back. Put a little bit of a bend in your standing left knee. No point in stressing out here. Send the right leg to the back of the room. Work your interlaced fingers up toward the sky. As best you can. Maybe you're using a chair. Totally fine. Bring the right foot to meet the left. Hands back to prayer center. That was your toppling tree. Let's do the other side. Other foot is going to root. So I'm going to root my right foot into the ground. Going to lift my left one. Open the left knee up. Staying right here is great with a chair. Hang out here. It's all good. Maybe slip the foot up a little bit. Maybe slip it up a lot. Find your right spot. Hands to prayer center. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. That helps. Don't stare at the TV. Look up. Look up. Always good to look up, right? Hope for the future. Look up. Breathe. Grow your branches. If you like, start to sway them. Press the backs of your hands to the back of the room. Feel the goodness in the chest. If you fall out, no big deal. Get right back in. Find your balance. Hands back to prayer center. Let the foot release from the leg, bringing the knee to the front of the room. Knee at about hip height. Maybe you hold right here. If you would like, hands interlace behind the low back. Send the left leg back. You can balance on the toes. You could even have your chair right here and not have the hands balanced or interlaced behind your back. If you lift the leg up, look down to the foundational foot, lift the arms up, up, up to the sky for your toppling tree. Finish up, left foot meets right, hands to prayer center. You did it. Take a deep breath in and a deep shoulder softening breath out. You will look taller with this next pose. Take the first letter of each of those words and bring your body into that shape. U, a big letter Y. Backs of the hands pressed to the back of the room. Legs are together, chest is lifted. Put a smile on your face. Big letter Y for the word U. Now let's bring it into a W. Elbows come down, pressing the backs of your hands to the back of the room. Your arms look like a W for the word will. Squeeze the muscles next to the spine on the upper back. Now, forearms parallel to the earth, elbows hugged in, a forward L and a backward L for the word look. And lastly, one big letter T. Pulse the backs of your hands to the back of the room for the letter T for the word taller. You will look taller. Let's do it again more quickly. Big letter Y. The secret here is pushing the backs of the hands to the back of the room. Will, W. L for look. T for taller. Pulse it out. Third time's the charm. One more time. U. Will, look, taller, finish. Arms down by your sides. Close your eyes for just a second. Feel how good your posture feels. Shoulders are back in line with your spine. Big breath in, big breath out. Let's hinge forward. Hinge forward, let your hands work toward the earth. Belly is hollowed out. Look back towards your knees, a little bend in your knees. Walk your hands forward. Bend your knees, hover over the mat for just a second in a bear plank. Knees are hovered, shoulders are over your wrists. Just hold here for a second. You don't have to hold it long because we're coming down to the mat right now. Knees come down, legs go long. Have you taken a water break yet? Go for it. Do it whenever you need to. Legs are long on your mat. Toes up toward the sky. Arms lift. Your body looks like a letter L. Lengthen up. Exhale, hinge forward. As you hinge forward, though, keep your arms parallel to each other like the number 11 and look forward. Feel how this feels in your low back. Try to reach your fingers a little farther. I don't know how far you're going. However far you're going, let it feel right for you. Reach, reach, reach the fingers a little farther, like you're trying to hand something to someone. Breathe. Maybe capture the feet, the ankles, whatever feels right. Elbows are near your knees. Look down towards your knees. Fold forward. Breathe. Finish up. Shoulders over your hips. Let's come down to our backs. Bend your knees. Soles of the feet on the mat. Hands in prayer center. Lengthen up through your nice straight back. And then come on back all the way down. We're going to do bridge. All right. So you're down here on your back. Oh, that feels good. Bend your knees and bring your feet up behind your bottom. So your ankles are under your knees. Your feet are solidly planted. Arms are down by your sides. Bridge pose. Press into your feet. Let your hips lift up. You're strong. This is a good pose for your hip flexors, and just a nice strengthening pose. Let your shoulders wiggle closer to your spine. Send your hips higher. Press harder into your feet. Breathe here. Lift here. Higher in the hips. Slowly roll your spine down, one vertebra at a time. Take it slowly. Keep your tailbone tucked. Like think of your navel tucking to your spine. Keep it tucked until you get all the way down. Then release it. All right, so that's your bridge. Let's take a constructive rest here in the bridge pose. Walk your feet out so they're kind of at the edges of your mat. You can kind of feel that. And let the knees collapse in. Arms down by your sides. How does that feel? Maybe you want to work the feet a little wider, maybe off of the mat, and let the knees collapse inward. Maybe that feels really good. You can stay here. You can stay in whatever pose speaks to your body, because everybody's body, every day is different for sure. All right, I'm going to walk my feet in a little bit so they're still at the edges of the mat. I'm going to let both knees fall to the right. I'm going to tee out my arms like we did in that You Will Look Taller pose, palms face up. And then I'm going to let my knees fall to the other side. Both knees go to the same side at the same time. This is called a reclined deer. So let the knees go to one side, then the other. And if you want to get fancy with it, let the knees fall to one side, and you send your gaze in the opposite direction. And just back and forth. You know how fast or how slow you want to do it. All right, let's take this a little farther. Let's pin the knee down. All right, so I'm going to let both knees fall to the right. Both knees have fallen to the right. Then I'm going to lift my right leg up, and I'm going to take the outside of my right ankle and put it on top of my left knee. So I'm working the left knee down. I'm pinning it down with my right ankle. You got that? And then I'm going to look to the left. Couple of breaths. Remove the ankle from the knee. And recline deer again. Let the knees fall to the opposite side. So now both my knees are going to the left. I'm going to lift my left leg up, place the outside of the left ankle on top of the outside of the right knee to just kind of pin it down a little bit. And I'm going to look to the right. It's a big stretch all along your side, isn't it? You don't have to look in the opposite direction of the knees. Maybe it feels better to look up to the sky. Or maybe you like turning the head and letting it go. Let's do it again. Bring your head back to the midline. Release the legs. Let them fall to the starting side. Bring the ankle on up. Pin the knee down. Look in the opposite direction. Head back up to the sky. Release the legs. Let them fall in the opposite direction. I'm taking mine to the left. Outside of the left ankle, pins the right knee down, and I'm going to look to the right. Breathe. Gaze back up to the sky, release the legs, come back to a starting original classic bridge pose. Work the feet on in, so the feet are under the knees and they're all at about hip height. Arms come down, hip width I should say. Press into the feet, lift your hips on up, wiggle the shoulders closer to the spine, really press into your feet. Chin is tucked to your chest. Maybe this time take your hands, you've got your shoulders wiggled in, maybe interlace your fingers behind your back. Press your pinkies down to the mat. That's a challenge. Lift higher through the hips. Try to soften in the glutes for just a second and let the power be in the legs. And then switch it back. Let the power be in the glutes and push, push, push into your feet. Remove your hands from behind your low back. Lower the spine down, one vertebra at a time. Tailbone down last. Open up your knees to the sides of your mat. Soles of the feet touch. Arms, let's tee them out. Your gaze is up to the sky. Wiggle your shoulders. Try to get everything equal in the shoulders on the mat here. Arms are teed out. Fingers are reaching long to the sides of your room. Now bend your elbows, keeping the backs of your hands on your mat. That's a challenge. So you're kind of ending up looking like a goalpost here, a reclined goalpost. Goalposted arms, equal distribution of weight in the shoulders. Knees toward the earth. Breathe. Let's find a little bit of peace here. Perhaps bring one hand to your heart to feel your heartbeat, and the other hand to your belly to feel your breath. Take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Really feel your heartbeat. It's in there. Really feel your breath rising and falling in your tummy. Soft shoulders. Arms down by your sides. If your towel is nearby and your eye shade, bring it on up. Find your strap too. Kick it on up near your side. All right. Last little thing for the hips, and then we're going to go into final shavasana pose after happy baby. All right, let's take the strap. Place the center of the strap underneath the soles of your feet and send your legs high up to the sky. Elbows are hugged in, and this strap is kind of fun to play with. Draw the toes up high overhead. A little bend in your knees might feel better. Elbows are hugged in. Just a nice little stretch here. Let's do that rainbow arc. I'm going to take my right leg out of the strap and send it long and straight on the mat. I'm going to drive my heel toward the bottom of the mat, toes toward my shin. And with this strap, I'm going to hold on to it and open up this left leg, letting the pinky toe work toward the earth. Hold on to the strap in one hand, open it up. So your legs are in like a letter L on the ground. Oh, don't you feel it in your adductor muscles inside your thigh? Let it be. Maybe look to the right and tee out your right arm. Bring the leg on up and take it to the other side. Big toe works down toward the earth. Your hips are stacked. Your left arm tees out. Try to keep your left shoulder down and look to the left. And a couple of times up on the inhale, down on the exhale. Look in the opposite direction of the leg that's extended. and breathe. When you're ready, bring that right leg up. See, it's your strong core pulling it up. And let the left leg come down. And you're going to do the same thing here. Left heel drives to the bottom of the mat, left toes up towards your shin, right pinky toe toward the earth. Look to the left if you like. Leg comes up. Big toe comes to the opposite side of your body, hips stack, right arm tees out. And you're looking in the opposite direction of the extended leg. Maybe once or twice more, whatever feels good for you. Nice, controlled, gentle movements. Just seeing where your limit is. Keeping the shoulder down. Finishing up, right leg comes up, left foot comes up, both feet are in the strap. Give the strap a pull, keeping the elbows hugged in. Little bend in your knees might feel really good. You can use the strap if you like, or remove the strap. Using your hands, hug the left knee toward the left armpit, right knee toward the right armpit, and rock a little bit from side to side. We'll take this to happy baby. I guess this is a happy baby too, right? Think of a happy baby in their crib. Rocking from side to side as you get a low back massage. Bring your hands to your inner low leg or toward your heels. Hug the heels, draw the toes toward the shins. Kind of feel like a frog, however a frog feels. And then send one leg up to the sky, rebend it and send the other. The first time it feels impossible, doesn't it? But you get that memory going and it becomes easier. One heel goes up to the sky, the other gets bent. Happy baby pose. Rock a little bit from side to side. You've done a lot today. And we've built on going from a little easier to a little more difficult. But you have mobility in your body now, and that's so important. Let's finish. Release your hands. Knees come together at the midline. Bend your knees. Feet come down. Best pose of the practice. Final shavasana. All right, send your legs long and just get comfortable here. Pick up space on your mat. Cover your eyes with a little weighted eye shade, or if you don't have that, buy one or use your towel. All right, eyes are covered. Arms down by your sides. Palms face up, wiggle your shoulders a little bit. You know how you wiggled the shoulders to get them close to the spine. Shoulders away from the ears. Legs slightly spread, just so you pick up space. Come back to your breath. Find peace in your body. If your teeth are clenched, your jaws are clenched, find space between your teeth. Soften the area between your eyebrows. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out. Soften in the jaws, in the cheeks, in the shoulders. Your arms and legs are heavy, and that's good. Deepen your breath. big, full, lung expanding inhales, followed by slower, softening exhales. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. If you'd like to stay here longer, go for it. It's time for you to conclude your hour. Start by turning your head from right to left and just kind of enjoy that little skull massage on your mat. Turn your head from right to left, left to right. How far do you want to turn it? What feels good? Do you bring the ear to the mat? Do you bring the cheek to the mat? Just turn it one direction then the other. After you've evened out, bring your gaze back to the midline of the body. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Circle the wrists and the ankles in both directions. Don't forget. On an inhale, reach high up overhead, point your toes to the bottom of the mat, reach your fingers to the top, stretch like it's your first good morning stretch. Reach one arm higher than the other, feel it up and down the side of your body. Stretch like you're just getting out of bed in the morning. And then finish up. Bend your knees and your elbows and roll onto one side or the other as you come into a fetal position. So you're resting on one side, bend the low arms, elbow, and rest your head on that bicep. Top shoulders relaxed, eyes are closed. Savor a breath here. Deep breath in and deep breath out. And as you're ready, maybe keep the eyes closed, press on up using your hands or not. You decide how you want it to be. Come to a seated position. Eyes are closed, hands to prayer center. Lengthen up through that strong, newly strengthened spine of yours. Deep breath in and deep shoulder softening breath out. Blink your eyes open. 1 hour. It flies by, doesn't it? Feels good to treat yourself well, doesn't it? Especially at the beginning of the week. You took a stress number in the beginning. What is it now? I guarantee it's come down and you feel better in your body. Remember that. Remember this feeling right here, right now. Nobody ever says, oh, I'm sorry I did my yoga today. It's hard to come to your mat, but just challenge yourself. It's a new month. Every day is a new day, and every day our practices are different. Challenge yourself and come to your mat every day. You're powerful, and this month you're getting more and more powerful. Stick with it. Remember this feeling and see you on your mat tomorrow. All right, it's good to be back. I'm so glad to be back. 5 weeks away is a long time. There's no place like home. I'll post some more pictures on our little private group. It's called Friends of 316 Yoga. If you want to join, it's on Facebook. Check us out, ask, I'll let you in, and I'll just share some more pictures from the trip. It was great. Southern France is absolutely beautiful. Language school is hard, but it was worth it. It was fun, and you got to stretch yourself, right? And I stretch myself. Have a great day, everybody. Love you. See you tomorrow. Bye, bye, bye. Stay in the actions and out of the results. The results will take care of themselves. Just keep coming back, doing your yoga and enjoying yourself and having fun. Our yoga is free for anybody and everybody. So tell your friends about the great things that the yoga is doing for you. If you'd like to support our broadcast, you can go to our website. It's www.316yoga.com. Stay strong, stay focused, and stay in the action. And the results will take care of themselves. See you on your mats tomorrow.